that if it is important for us to have a national conclave. First, I want to maybe on a few rebuttals of the statements that were made that I thought were a bit harsh and unfair for those of us that believe in the vision, in the strides, in the, what the president is doing to transform our country. And I support President William Ruto, not because I come from his backyard, but because Kenyans right now look at what plan do you have for a country, and then what are you doing about it? When we go back a bit, there was a time we had Kenyans complaining about the cost of living. If you remember very well, there even are times when people, famously would put sufurias on their heads. And there was mayhem around, in which case there was a NADCO, National Dialogue. Along the coast, we had the National Dialogue Committee, where then we brought in leaders to be able to have a conversation. What are these things that are really affecting our country that then we can be able to have a discussion and the government of the day to be able to implement? And it was fully supported. It was brought into Parliament. We voted for it. A budget was given. A conversation was done. Some of the summary of the things that were done then was the aspect of IEBC, the formation of the selection panel, And that was done. We went even ahead until we now have the IEBC commissioners. Another discussion was the cost of living, which we all know. At the point in time we got into, the Kenya Kwanza government got into power, the cost of unga was very high. It's common knowledge. Look at it now, amongst many other things, whether you're talking about sugar, the importation of those. And the government did make some, radical, steps, like for instance, subsidizing fertilizer, where I come from a region where we plant all these things, and indeed the impact of the same. I know we used to get about 44 million bags of maize, for instance. Right now we are doing 67, and at some point they're expecting almost 84 million bags. What has that done? The cost of living has come down. I did mention earlier that the figures never lie. We had an inflation of 9.6. Right now we are doing 3.8. Those are figures that never lie. Why? It came out of NADCO discussions. There was the issue of the two-third gender rule. That is also a matter that has not been finalized, so to say. There was conversations around the Senate terms and the issue of the counties in terms of the demarcations of the counties. There was the issue of the CDF, Senators and Women Fund, the formalization of the same into the Constitution. That is some of the things now that we're having a conversation a few minutes ago. So there was something that came out of that NADCO report. Some have been done, some are still in process. So as to whether it is important for us to have that debate right now is neither here nor there. However, you remember also when Raila Odinga agreed with President William Ruto on working together on the broad-based government, there was a 10-point agenda, most of which are still part of those that were discussed in this. But I also want to say, it is important to also be able to hear, over time, a national conversation is always good. But then, did it come out of, after the 7-7 or
we've been talking
a
good game
bill?
about all these national conversations. Oh, this will be the BOMA's draft moment, again, harking back into history. We wonder then, what discernible difference will it make? Yeah, and then we're going to spend a lot of money.
That's what I'm saying.
National conversation.
In my view, I don't think it will add any much more value because we already know the issues that are affecting us.
Have this conversation.
I don't think it's
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
But we've had also united opposition members,
Yes.
leaders there, calling for national dialogue.
No, what we are...
Kalonzo Musyoka has been calling for a national dialogue.
I think
fundamentally different with the conclave?
Let me explain to you.
It's just a matter of semantics.
Let me explain to you. The national dialogue that Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka is introducing is exactly what I've told you. We know what is broken.
Yes.
What we want these people
Yes.
to do, we have members of parliament who are in the opposition side who are still in parliament. We want them and this side to, that is what the national dialogue is supposed to be. Bring bills which are going to stop the nonsense that has been going on in our